An ending can make or break a series, and when it comes to Apple TV Plus's latest psychological thriller, that much is especially true. But which side of the fence you'll sit on really depends on how you feel about what Apple have cooked up here. Disclaimer is based on the book sporting the same name, and if you don't want spoilers, I'd recommend steering clear of Goodreads or any other book review site until you've finished watching this one through to its conclusion. Suffice to say, though, the reaction is very mixed, and I have no doubt that the show will steer the same way when the finale rolls round. As any good book adaptation goes, Apple's structure largely follows that of the book, and it can be confusing at times, with its disparate timelines, flashbacks, and multiple layered characters across its 7-episode run. The story follows Catherine Ravenscroft, a well-respected documentary journalist who finds her life turned upside down when she crosses paths with a grieving husband, Stephen Brigstock. Mourning the loss of his wife, Stephen is dead set on revealing the truth about Catherine's past to the world, and in doing so, intends to destroy her life forever. This truth is slowly unveiled through flashbacks, which include an infamous holiday in Italy where Catherine and her son Nicholas are alone while Catherine's husband Robert is out working. On the beach, they bump into a guy called Jonathan, and the tale unravels from there. The first 4 episodes in particular flesh out what appears to be the entire story and make you empathize and understand why Stephen is the way that he is. In the present, Catherine's life spirals, while Robert and Nicholas are caught in the crossfire and scramble to catch up. There's an unusual stylistic tone used here, as each episode jumps between different characters in what are basically point-of-view chapters. In the book, we get a first-person perspective from Stephen and third-person from Catherine, but the series tidies that up by having third-person narration for everyone. Each time the scene shifts, we get little bits of narration to show that characters' inner psyche and feelings. This in itself is a polarizing choice, and there are some who will start to get annoyed at the way this basically tells us what characters are feeling rather than showing us. However, it's undeniably effective toward the back end of the show, especially during long, slow, quiet moments of introspection. When the dialogue does pick up, though, the cast do an excellent job bringing their respective characters to life. Cate Blanchett is effortless in her role as exasperated Catherine, while Sacha Baron Cohen, who's best known for his comedic efforts, shows his acting chops like he did in Netflix's show The Spy, bringing Catherine's husband to life effortlessly. Kevin Kline's layered performance as Stephen, though, is the real tour de force, and what's particularly remarkable here is how his demeanor changes, ever so slightly, as the series progresses. What begins as a quirky, dark-humored thriller, complete with imitating grenade throws over the shoulder and wearing his wife's pink cardigan, soon twists into something far more serious. The back end of the runtime is where Disclaimer starts to show its hand, and unlike the book, with its last-minute twist, there is at least some desire here to flesh out what's coming with light sprinkles of foreshadowing. This does work to soften the blow, but much like the book, the ending is a little contrived and rushed. For comparison's sake, the shock factor feels akin to the twist in Frida McFadden's thriller The Teacher. It's one of those that the longer you think about it, the more you start to pick holes in the logic. Disclaimer is likely to follow suit here. Alfonso Cuarón is definitely the right man to bring this book to life, though, and his signature style is stamped all over this. The transitions between flashbacks and present-day drama have a compelling circular fade to black, while the colors, or lack thereof, tell their own story. Seeing Stephen and his wife Nancy start a scene bathed in color in their garden, only to then receive bad news and all the colors slowly drain out their subsequent scenes, are the little geeky details that help elevate this thriller above its polarizing conclusion. Apple TV Plus generally have a mix of really good and really bad shows. There aren't many that hit the middle of the road. Disclaimer is certainly not the latter, and for most of its run, it falls into the realm of being highly enjoyable and utterly compelling. The ending definitely lets it down, though, and holds this back from being a bona fide smash hit. I'd recommend giving this a watch, but wait for all the episodes to drop before you start, as once you start, you're going to struggle to put this one down.